Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have finally a book haul. I've been wanting to film this video for a while now, but I figured I should wait for the last book I ordered to arrive. I have 7 books in total. I'm actually currently reading one of them. 3 of the books here I bought retail, and then one book I bought at this really viral store that sells books per kilo. I could spend an eternity there. Like, it's so beautiful there, the interior as well. The other 3 pre-loved books I got from Shopee. I will be linking the shops where I got it from because they sell really popular books for a lot cheaper price, because books are very expensive these days, especially in the Philippines. Like, I cannot attest outside Philippines. I remember when I started reading, I was a teenager. A book in average costs 300 pesos. Now it costs double. It costs roughly 700 to 1,000 peso. So whenever I want to buy books, I always check online first if I can find a pre-loved option. I also consider buying ebooks if, for example, I have a feeling I won't like the book, or the book is too small for the price. Like, for example, the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, who is one of the most prominent samurai in Japan. So this is his catalog of his practice. This was recommended by Robert Greene, the author of 48 Laws of Power, one of the books that I really enjoyed reading. I saw a copy at my nearest bookstore, but the retail price for like a 200-page book is over 800 to 1,000, and I just cannot justify that. So I ended up just buying the ebook version. Other ebook that I bought this month, which I started reading but I haven't finished, The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. For a while, around last month, I had a brief phase of reading fantasy books, and I thought the phase would linger, but it didn't. I also got a copy of Verity by Colleen Hoover. I'm iffy about reading Colleen Hoover books because generally I don't gravitate over romance. I heard from somewhere, from several people, that it is the exception to the romance stereotype of coho books. Apparently this one is thriller. I also got another ebook, and it is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And again, this is because I thought I had a fantasy phase, which didn't really last long. So anyway, let's close that and move on to the physical books. One of the books here I'm currently reading. I'll start with the smallest here. No, wait, I'll start with the current book that I'm reading. I am currently reading this one. It is Notes from Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky. In my last vlog, I read this book and I talked about this book. I had a lot of thoughts, which I'm saving till I make a book review, but I really loved it. I can tell that this will be the book that I will rave about to my friends in conversations and just in every aspect of my life. So this is my 3rd Dostoevsky book, and this is probably my favorite one. I know, right? Also, it's very small, so it's a breath of fresh air. I got this retail price for 339 at Fully Booked. So the next book that I will show you is also a recommendation from a booktuber. I forgot his name because I saw his video just randomly suggested to me, and I don't save my history. I don't know really who recommended it, but this is among his recommended books. When I looked it up on Goodreads, I saw that Bill Gates also read this book and gave this book 4 stars. So I decided to pick it up. This is called A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. This is historical fiction. It's set in Russia. I've been reading a lot of books in Russian setting these days, so I don't know about that. But that is purely coincidental. I also bought this in retail price, so this book is 660 from Fully Booked. The last book in retail price, it's a Filipino literature but it's translated in English. This is part of the Philippine curriculum. Everyone knows that. We study Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo in high school and Jose Rizal's life in college, at least for me. And my high school teacher who taught Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo was really passionate about Jose Rizal and his works. And her passion translates. And because of that, I really respected this book for what it stands for, its symbolisms, its impact. I've been wanting to read it again outside of school and see if I enjoy it the same. Although I'm worried about the translated version because I know for a fact, because of my high school teacher, that some of the words used in the book, the original text, is in Spanish. And I'm not sure if those words can be translated. So let's see if Miss Leon Maria Guerrero can capture the essence of the original text. This edition is from Anvil Publishing. They have an official store in Lazada and Shopee. If you're coming outside of the Philippines in the international Booktube community, Noli Me Tangere is a very famous Filipino literature. It was written by our national hero, Jose Rizal, and it was originally written in Spanish. It is taught in school. It talks about the time when the Philippines was under the Spanish regime. I think I got this for 275 or 295 pesos. Though I find the shape of this book quite odd because it's shaped like a box. It has this beautiful cover, but it gives off a very graphic novel vibe, which I'm not sure of. It's definitely giving something, but it's not giving me it. You know. So moving on, because I talked about that a lot, I want to talk about this book. This is part of the, I don't know how to read this, WM, is it William? Or am I just stupid? But WM Collins Sons and Company Limited, Glasgow. But I went to Books for Less along Aguinaldo Highway going to Tagaytay in the Philippines. They sell books per kilo, but they also have regular priced books. What I don't like about that store though is it's as if they're pricing their books as you ask. They don't put tags in their books. It's weird because this was originally priced 600 pesos, I think, when I asked. But I saw here written in pencil, it says 300. So I'm not sure who wrote that. Could be the seller, first seller, second seller, the original owner. But either way, I had a great time looking for books there, browsing through their collection of books. They have an entire shelf full of leather-bound classic books. And I just really wanted to buy one. And a lot of their Charles Dickens books were on sale, but I don't really read Charles Dickens books. But I saw this, and this is the Oscar Wilde one. It just says stories. And when I looked at the collection, I saw that it included the picture of Dorian Gray. I already have a copy of that. I already read it and I really loved it. And so I thought it wouldn't be so bad to own a beautiful copy of the picture of Dorian Gray. But besides that, there's also a bunch of other stories here, like short stories by Oscar Wilde. They first priced it at 600, but I bargained and I got this book for 500. So I think 500 is just about right? Like for this beautiful classic edition. I just feel sad that there's only one in my bookshelf. It would have been nice if I have like at least 5 of them right next to each other, like in my bookshelf. But I just don't have the money for that for now. It'll have to wait, but I'll get there. We're down to the last 3 books. These 2 books came together, and then this is the book that I waited for. I'll talk about this. I've been wanting to read this book forever again. Every time I'm at the bookstore, I always look at this book just in case it's on sale or there's a cheaper edition that I can buy, but it's always so expensive. I went to Shopee and I saw that this was selling for I forgot how much. I'll put it on the screen, but it's relatively a lot cheaper. This is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I just know that it's about a fictional town and it follows a family. And that's all I know. I don't know how I came to know about this book, but I just do, and I've been wanting to read it. And finally, I have a copy. This is the Penguin edition. The last two books that I have arrived yesterday, actually. Now, this one I've been wanting to buy as well for a while. When I decided to buy A Gentleman of Moscow, I debated whether to buy that one or this one because they're comparably of the same price. When I looked on Shopee, I saw that there are a bunch of secondhand books there that I can choose from. So that made me decide to just buy The Gentleman in Moscow instead. This is only 250 pesos, and in fully booked, this is priced at like 600 plus pesos. This is my first Shiguro book. It's very famous. This especially is very well loved. It's called The Remains of the Day. And I love how small this is. Japanese books are, well, maybe except for Murakami books. The Japanese books that I've read so far are actually very small, and I love that. The last book that I have, it's called Chinese Cinderella by Adeline Yen Ma. It's Chinese. Obviously, it's written by Chinese, but I don't know if it's based in China. I don't really know if this is considered Chinese literature because it could have been written by someone from the US. Because it doesn't say that it's translated. So I'm not sure if this is Chinese literature. I saw this displayed on the bookshelf a very, very long time ago. I've ignored it. And when I decided to buy this, I saw that the seller was selling this book for only 100 pesos. And I thought, hell, why not? Why don't I just buy this as well? And I did. And I looked online, and National Bookstore is selling this for like almost 600, like 500 plus pesos. So anyway, that concludes my book haul. Just a little update from my last vlog. I did dye my hair black, so now it's darker. And it's funny because I used 2 packs of dye, and then today I cut my hair. It is what it is. It's very hot in the Philippines, and I cannot stand how dry my hair has become in the last few months. So I had to cut at least half of my hair. It'll grow. My hair grows really fast anyway. So yeah, that's it for today's video. And these books that I bought, except for this one, have always been in my wish list this year, and I finally have them.